I cut her off. She was toxic, and I couldn't handle that kind of energy. I know this phrase is not new. While friends are great to have in your life, every now and then, friendships take more than they give. Ebbs and flows may be natural in any relationship, but it is critical to recognize when a friendship becomes unpleasant or even harmful. Toxic friends are people that can influence our lives without us noticing. So the big question is, how do you know that your friend is toxic? Are there signs? Well, as much as the signs can be subtle, they are there. And in today's video, we are going to show you what to look for. Welcome to our Wellness Lenses, where we talk about the journey to self-development. Without further ado, let's dive into our video about signs of a toxic relationship. Number 1. You dread checking your phone. Technology has made it so simple to keep up with your friends. It's a for better or worse kind of moment. You'll be able to identify it's the latter when the individual reaches out to you, and instead of feeling joy, you experience a feeling of unease. A decent friend should not make you dread whenever your phone buzzes. Therefore, it's definitely time to activate the Do Not Disturb option if they make you feel negative. Number 2. You no longer enjoy spending time with them. If the last time they canceled plans made you do a happy dance, it's likely because you're exhausted from investing more effort into the friendship than it's actually worth. It feels taxing, more like a chore. You may also experience increased anxiety, headaches, or upset stomach when you're with them. This can even be applied to virtual space. Have you been dreading their new Instagram posts or FaceTime calls? That could be a hint that a certain friendship isn't for you. Number 3. You are giving more than you are receiving. If your friend always seems to require your support but can't reciprocate, even the smallest favor, they're probably toxic. You can tell when there is a significant disparity between what you give and what you receive. Consider the friend who always dominates the conversation with what's going on in their life. But when it comes time to talk to you, they suddenly realize they have somewhere to be. Of course, that doesn't mean abandoning a friend who can't always be there for you, especially if they're going through a difficult time. It's important to recognize that friendships can be adaptable. However, if the routine is so deeply established that you consistently feel like you're the one making all the effort and there's no reciprocity over time, that's a clue that it will not be very sustainable. Number 4. You dislike yourself when you're in their company. Toxic friends tend to transfer their toxicity to others. Being around these people causes you to behave in negative ways that are not characteristic of your usual self. This may include excessive drinking, displaying passive-aggressive traits, or engaging in gossip. Such behaviors are indications of an unhealthy or toxic friendship. Or you may feel you can't be your authentic self around them because you're constantly terrified of how the other person will react, and you constantly walk on eggshells around them. Number 5. You're well aware that they talk about you when you're not there. While there is a spectrum of gossiping about people behind their backs, it's obviously toxic if your friendship resembles an episode of Real Housewives. The trick is determining whether or not your friend is speaking in your best interests. When a friend expresses their concern about the person you're dating, saying something like, "I don't think Shelly's new partner is a good fit for her," they seem rude and it's concerning. That's one thing. However, when they start ridiculing you, saying things like Shelly always goes for the losers, and laughing at your expense, that's when their behavior becomes cruel and crosses a boundary. Number 6. You can't rely on their advice. Life can be challenging. That's why we need good friends to assist us in figuring things out. But if you seek counsel from a buddy and immediately regret it, this may indicate they are toxic. They aren't going to listen, and they aren't going to be very sympathetic or sensitive. When they listen, it's usually to give you one-sided advice that makes them appear more intelligent, capable, and successful than you. A toxic friend will frequently insist on an expensive or impractical solution you feel obligated to agree on, even if you know it's not viable. Before we move on to the next sign, if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content about self-development and improving your life. It really helps our smaller channel and your kindness will go a long way. Number 7. You're humiliated by their actions toward others. One of the most prevalent concerns about toxic friends is that they are rude to people you care about, such as your partner, other friends, and even your children. Or when you're out at a restaurant, the person creates a lot of fuss, embarrasses you, demands things you don't think are acceptable, and drags you along. Another example? An unhealthy friend might mock a person you know in a group chat with your pals and encourage others to join in the mockery. Even if they're pleasant to you, their friendship isn't worth the pain it produces in your other relationships. Number 8. You feel used. Manipulation or forcing you to do things you don't want to do indicates a toxic friend. These types of people can frequently mislead you into reaching an arrangement that appears fair but isn't. A toxic friend always insists on sharing the bill even when they know they spend a lot more on food and drinks. You know it's not fair, but you put up with it to keep the relationship alive. Number 9. You're not sure why you're friends with them. You two were once inseparable, yet suddenly, you feel as if you're on two different planets. As your objectives shifted and altered through time, your relationship did not. Having a past with someone who does not necessarily mean you must continue a relationship with them in the future. You are not responsible for this person's happiness and cannot change them, no matter how much you wish. In such circumstances, it is important to evaluate the reasons behind continuing this friendship. Relationships should bring positivity and encouragement, and their duration should not be the sole basis for maintaining them. This becomes even more crucial if the friendship is having an adverse impact on your mental well-being. Number 10. They constantly criticize you. In a toxic relationship, the other person criticizes you, uses your failures against you, or makes you feel horrible about yourself. This isn't just light-hearted teasing. This is the kind of language that tears you down and makes you doubt yourself, and that's an issue. If they frequently make fun of your style, home, or body in a way that makes you feel this way, they may try to make you feel worse on purpose. Number 11. They are envious of your other friends. A toxic pal will be envious and frustrated by the other people in your life. After all, they want to know they're the most significant and trusted person. As a result, they might disrespect your friends. They may try to convince you that you're better off without them. In extreme circumstances, they may go behind your back and lie or trash you in front of others to sever your reputation with your other friends. Number 12. The friendship is irregular and unpredictable. Some friendships may have hard patches, and friends may argue from time to time, but a constant cycle of highs and lows is unhealthy. In some toxic friendships, there is a honeymoon phase. It feels amazing, and the individual is pleasant to you for a while. You feel on top of the world, and everything is fine. Then it becomes more hostile or damaging, and there is usually a crisis moment when something extremely distressing occurs. And just as you're about to end the friendship, they entice you back in with pleasant, lovely acts. They're neither consistent nor sincere. That cycle is a symptom of a problem. A healthy friendship should not feel like a roller coaster, where you never know where you stand with the individual or how they will treat you. Number 13. Other friends or family members are worried about your friendship. Take note if other close friends, family members, or individuals you trust express concerns about this friendship to you. They are looking out for you. If they notice a change in your mood or manner after you've been with this individual, they probably don't think it's beneficial for you to continue the friendship in its current form. When individuals show worry, try not to be defensive. Take your time to let things settle, and what is true will resonate, and what isn't will go away. Number 14. They compare you to others. Do you have a friend that constantly compares you to their other friends? Maybe your place is smaller than X's, so hanging out with you isn't as fun. Or they will mention your wardrobe and say you could borrow some advice from their more stylish friend. We all have distinct characteristics and life plans, which a good friend will recognize. They will not compare you to others or imply that you are inferior to someone else. They also do not use peer pressure to persuade you to do things that you would rather not do. Number 15. They apologize without sincerity. When you call them out on their behavior, they either shrug it off or say, sorry. Instead of considering your point of view, they say, I'm sorry you feel that way, or follow up with a defensive, but. You know that one friend who apologizes like this. I'm sorry if I offended you, but it was just a joke. These non-apologies imply that the person does not care how their actions affect you. So you've come to a decision that your friend is toxic. Now what? If you're unsure whether to discontinue the friendship, talk to other people for a reality check on the situation. An outsider's perspective can bring to light red flags that you may have missed or swept under the rug. You could also try creating boundaries with this person. Suppose you have a friend who consistently dominates the discussion when you talk on the phone. When this happens, simply say, I need to hang up now, and then do hang up. You might slowly fade from the friendship when you realize it's over. That's the simplest and most comfortable method to go out for some people. But still, it only works when both sides acknowledge what's happening and both parties naturally take a step back. If your toxic friend is unaware they are bad for you, they may push back harder, become upset, accusatory, or simply ignore the hint. If you have to be more direct, then that's what you have to do. Nobody likes it, as it's completely awkward, but sometimes you just have to be persistent. Say something neutral but strong, like, I am aware that you have noticed I haven't had the opportunity to be with you as often lately. To be honest, my life is taking a different path, so I don't see us spending as much time together moving forward. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Please let us know in the comments section if these signs apply to any of your friends. Also, give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Subscribe to our channel and get more amazing and helpful content. Until next time, bye.